Welcome to the Rise Above show with Patricia Jo Grover, where we rise above our challenges and turn believers into achievers. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors, 133 Approved Funding. It's money when you need it. They've been able to keep businesses open with people employed, and now for people who are looking to start businesses, they have financing available for that, as well as consumer financing, so that you may be able to get services that Jessica, my guest today, offers with her business or even with mine. So, just without further ado, let me tell you a little bit more about Jessica Koch. She um, is going to be speaking with us in the environmental dimension of life for the Rise Above Summit coming up in October. You'll be able to catch her on October 8th. No, excuse me, the 6th of October at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I had to look at my little schedule there. And so Jessica is the Italian mother of seven, an international speaker, and her firm provides sales and marketing consulting, LinkedIn and social media training, and she has a virtual assistant membership program. She currently has clients in 8 countries, and she loves kayaking. Oh my goodness, Jessica. You know, so many people are, as they're growing and expanding their businesses, are in need of people to help them in different areas. So happy to have you here with us.
I am excited. About a year ago, we started the virtual assistant membership program division, and I had no idea I had such a passion for that. I've always, sales and marketing stuff is like candy for me. I'm always researching what's the newest and latest and greatest, and I just love it. But time freedom has always been a huge importance to me as a mom of seven, and loving all my hobbies, painting and kayaking and such. Need time for those things. And I really found the solution that made it so that my business could both scale and I could have the life I wanted to. And so I found that it was really exciting when I had the opportunity to help other people do that too.
Oh, that's and it makes so much sense, Jessica. That it really does. With a mom of seven, you definitely time is
Yeah.
important. So I know your talk is on the summit. It's going to be like 15 things a virtual assistant can do for you today, and
Yes.
but let me ask you some more questions to kind of
Sure.
help our viewers and listeners here. Jessica, what are some important things on social media that a virtual assistant can do for us?
So one of the things that gets most overlooked and I find interesting is notifications. People don't realize how important addressing that little bell on all your social media spots is. And the reason is because of reciprocity, right? As much as we can do for others, feature, promote, and support others, and collaborate with others, the better chance. It's the same reason you need a virtual assistant. It allows you to amplify yourself and leverage relationships and other people supporting your company and putting the word out for you on your behalf. Because if you're always showing up, like, sharing, commenting, reaching out, mentioning them, responding when they mention you, which is a huge time suck, but so important, when you do that, then you've got this army of people who have a huge social following doing it in return for you. Now, I'm not going to say you should do nice things to get something. But I am going to say it is almost, the universe has decided this, so don't blame me. It is a guaranteed side effect. When you do something kind for anyone, that person may not do something in kind back for you. And that's not why you're doing it. But something wonderful, some surprise around the corner is waiting for you, because this is how the energy, at least I believe, the energy shakes out. That whole, some people call it karma, some people call it whatever, but I just know the more good you do, the more good comes your way. That's what I know.
I love it, and I agree. And you know how I do that with liking and sharing and everything. So
Yeah.
it's important. So Jessica,
Mhm.
what are some more direct sales kind of tasks that a virtual assistant can do for us?
Well, before I run to that, I would also say something that most people think, oh, a virtual assistant couldn't do that for me on social media. That is updating your profile. I have so many people come to me and say, oh, I know that LinkedIn is so good and I need to be on there and I need to do it, but my profile is so out of date and it just seems so daunting, right? But I will tell you, for several of our executives that were support, I say we, my team of virtual assistants who are brilliant, we'll go through a LinkedIn profile with them from head to toe. And granted, there are 2 or 3 things on a profile the person needs to do. It's just the facts. But the rest is just information they can drop into a Google Share folder, and then the virtual assistant can go through and properly apply and update and make wonderful their profile so that then they can grow that. Now that leads right into the sales question, right? What are some direct sales things we can do? So think about whenever I'm having a client, we're onboarding someone new and we're trying to decide what are the best return on investment tasks that a virtual assistant can do for you so that the money will continue to grow. So it's a no-brainer to continue to work with this person even for even longer time, right? And that is, think about what makes you the most money. Where or what are people sending you or giving you money for? And then think about, how did I get those clients? And then think about the actions that it took to get that client. So was it because you spoke on a summit, right? Well, if you spoke on a summit, then did you follow up with all of the speakers? Did you follow up with all the attendees? Did you reach out to everyone? Well, those are micro tasks of follow-up that a virtual assistant could do for you to leverage the benefit of getting, well, I get most of my clients when I speak. Well, then that's what they should be doing, getting you more speaking engagements and following up correctly and professionally and not spammy to the summits you've spoke on. So it's really breaking down and thinking about how and where your clients come from and what are those tasks that are going to equal. Sometimes it's just one-on-one meetings. There's a lot of people who just say, I go to these virtual Zoom networking things and I meet people and we have a one-on-one getting to know you call and I get a client. And that's how I get most of my clients. Well, guess what happens when you go to those virtual networking things? You know, there's 50 or 30 people on the call. Everybody's putting all their stuff in the chat. You have to reach out to all of them. You have to find them on LinkedIn and send them an invitation to connect. You have to send them an email. You have to put all that data from the chat into an Excel sheet and then import that to your CRM. All of those tasks can be done by a virtual assistant. And in that email, they can include the calendar link. So then you're showing up and shining at your networking events, and then you get to show up and shine at the appointments that were set because your virtual assistant did all the tasks to follow up so that your calendar is now bursting and full.
And there are all those pieces and all those steps, but to have somebody on your team taking care of those and making sure that happens is fantastic. Because the fortune, we all know the fortune's in the follow-up.
Absolutely.
So yeah, definitely. So either you put it into your planner or calendar to do yourself, or you, guess what? You delegate it to be done, right?
Yes, that's the winner for me.
Yes. So Jessica, when did we know? When do you know when you should be getting a virtual assistant?
Well, some of my followers will have heard this story before, so don't spoil it for anyone else. But I will tell you my favorite story of a client having success with this is they had just started their firm. They were brand new. They had about 3 consulting clients, and they just knew they didn't want to do all these tasks that needed to be done because it meant they were going to be giving up sleep or giving up time with their family or whatever. And at the same time, they didn't feel like they had the ability to justify an employee or even know anything about hiring a virtual assistant from another country, because that can be scary and worrisome. And how does that work? And can you trust them? And how do you find them? And how do you track their time? And how do you pay them? There's all these questions, right? But this client decided to be brave, and they went through their house and pulled a few things that they just weren't using and put them on Facebook Marketplace and decided, okay, it's not, I'm not, risking my business or my family resources. I'm going to use this money like fun money, right? Like Monopoly money. I got rid of some stuff I didn't need anyway, made several $100s, had a small little pot of the money, and then did just what I said and followed the system of making sure the tasks they were doing led to more money making action. So then they could take some of that result and put it back into a virtual assistant and then scale and grew. And the story of that customer was me. So that is how I started 4 years ago. When I started my firm, I knew I didn't want to do everything. And now we have clients in 8 countries. I have 30 different virtual assistants from 6 different countries on my team, helping and supporting myself and my clients. And we are growing probably within the next 12 to 14 weeks to, our hope is another 100 virtual assistants, another 30 in the next 6 weeks, and then a full, hopefully additional 100 in 14 weeks. And it all started with, my youngest daughter had some toys and clothes she didn't need. And I thought, okay, if I can trade that for a few $100s and justify that gambling money. I'm not a gambling person, but I was willing to lose this money if this thing didn't work, and was able to scale it to what it is today. So that for me is exciting.
Right. And that is amazing. The story that you're sharing, because it just shows that anybody, if you have something that you need to do, you're going to find a way to do it.
Yeah. On my vision board right next to me, it doesn't say find a way, it says make a way. I mean, we are going to make a way to make this happen. So if you have a goal, it's not it's not you can't do it, it's how do we achieve it? What people do you need to know? What relationships do you need to have? What resources do you need to get your hands on? And then how do I obtain those? And you just start asking, and I believe the universe serves up the answers.
Exactly.
And the solutions and the people and the resources, they all come flowing in the door. You just have to have the plan, know exactly what you want, and believe that it is available to you. And it is, I promise.
And I back that up with being the goal achievement strategist. I can help you create that smarter plan to be able to get people to work with you through Jessica to make it happen. So
call Patty. She'll build the blueprint, and we'll be the worker bees behind the scenes putting it into action. Let's go, people. What are you waiting for?
Let's go. Awesome. So Jessica, how many virtual assistants do you have yourself?
So right now, my direct team is 30 in 6 different countries, but we have just done a huge wave. We'll be adding in the next few weeks. I'm hoping another 30. I have a team leader who helps me manage the division, and between her and I, we are doing a massive wave of interviews. We've been doing interviews like all week, and we're adding video editors and proofreaders and ghostwriters and blog experts and social media experts and Pinterest experts. And so we are podcast specialists, WordPress people, landing page people. So for all your technologies and everything that you need done for you, they either get a lot of high level training from me, or they even work with our clients if they have something unique or special or software we've never seen before, and they will learn it and do it. Now, I mean, they get paid for some of their learning time, but they are fantastic. And a lot of the programs are so similar that it's so easy for them to pick up, and it doesn't take a lot of time, and away they go. So
wow, that's so exciting. It's like a candy store.
It is.
Just thinking, I can have somebody help me take this. Oh, take it off my
Yes. Yeah.
You did say something that I want to because I picked up on it. So Jessica, how do virtual assistants help you get featured on more podcasts?
Oh, that's easy. So there are tons of different directories and spaces and websites and places where some of the top podcasters in different based on industry. So wherever your audience would be, our team is already trained and we have already built out a template spreadsheet of how to properly research who these people are. Then our clients go through and approve them and say, oh yeah, I'd like to be on that show. And then we have the client build the basic framework for messaging, and our team has access to if it was for you, it would be Team Patty at whatever your email is. And then once you've approved that email, then the team reaches out to that podcast host with that special message to request you to be a guest on their show or summit. And also we reach out to them via LinkedIn and Facebook. So if you hit them a couple of different ways, very kindly and with reciprocity saying, I love your show or the topic of your summit. I feel like I could bring some value to your community with these special gifts and these collaborative joint venture opportunity affiliate programs. I'd love to set up some time to have that conversation and see how we can support each other with our communities. I have a really great following. I'd like to introduce them to you and your podcast or summit as well. So if you're open, here's my calendar link. So it's a very kind and giving, don't verbally vomit and sales pitch all over them about me, and I'm so great. You need 2 or 3 wow statements so that they'll be like, wow, I do want to have that person on my show or on my summit. But other than that, you really want to make it about them as much as possible.
Oh, fantastic. And your people are all trained in that, right?
And they all do that. Yeah, we're doing that for lots and lots of clients already.
Love it,
yeah.
Love it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So now I know for me, because I work with people all over the globe as well. So let's talk about some time zone challenges.
Oh, time zones and sugar, my friend, are the devil. Yes. That's my opinion too, by the way. My legal disclaimer always is I'm the Italian mother of 7, but I'm not your mama, and I'm not giving you legal, medical, or financial advice. But my personal opinion is time zones and sugar are the devil. So.
Well, oh my goodness, real.
You just have to you just work through it, really, and you give grace, because I don't care how professional you are, wonderful you are. You out there, yes, I'm talking to you, have messed up a time zone before. It happens, okay? So if someone from a different country is supposed to meet with you, don't say, oh, well, that's it. I'm not giving them this interview because they messed up the time zone. Give some grace. Decide what your threshold of grace is. I typically stick to 3 strikes and you're out. If you can't make a meeting with me 3 times because of time zones, then and I have broken that rule and gone further, and I have been so glad that I have, for the few people that I brought in when that occurred. Because the other thing that happens in these other countries when you're working with these amazing team members, first of all, they're brilliant. They've learned so fast. They're so hardworking. They're so loyal and dedicated. But they have other challenges that are beyond their control. So the internet isn't always as strong or stable as they wish it be. I don't know about you, but we live in the United States, and I've had a moment or two where my internet was not as strong as I wanted to be. So don't throw them out for the bathwater for that reason. Secondly, they're also their power can have a challenge. There's sometimes even government mandated, and sometimes not without notice, power outages and blackouts in different cities that, again, not in their control. I mean, do you control the weather or the rain? No, neither do they. And speaking of, they have weather challenges and monsoon seasons, and you see it in earthquakes, and they have live volcanoes sitting around them. So give them a little grace already. If you were sitting on a hot volcano, you wouldn't be able to help it if there was an occasional earthquake too. Seriously. And then, I think the whole world is learning to give more grace in general because of the challenges with what the world has faced. Because between actually being sick and or quite honestly, we've had a good amount, more so lately, that are out due to the effects of the vaccine and as long, if not longer, as people who've actually been sick. So, and this is not a political statement, and I am not making a expression of positive or negative on either side of those poles. I am Switzerland. But I will just tell you, we're all giving grace because people are facing real things with real issues. And so we just take it a day at a time and put people first and put their health first. And because we have such a large team, our clients fairly rarely ever feel the effects of that, because we have another team member that can step in, while that team member who needs it can rest or do whatever it is they need to be well and back up and running again. So I would just say, based on what's happening in the world, I think we've learned to give each other a grace. And I will reiterate that I have no vocal opinion one way or another on any of those circumstances, just that it is a fact of, things we're facing on the planet, and I remain Switzerland.
There you go. So one last question for you, Jessica. What are some of the top issues when you do, that you may come across when you're working with virtual assistants?
Yeah, I think that's probably the number one. But the other is initially finding them without having to pay a large amount of money for some of these platforms. I have a really good solution that I'll make sure I give a special link to Patty to share with her audience. And this one also takes care of the two other challenges, which is tracking their time correctly, as well as payment, because some of these countries, I have clients in Nigeria and other places, and PayPal wouldn't work to pay them. And just know PayPal makes its money by taking a piece of that conversion when you pay them, which is, normal. Somehow these platforms have to make money, right? Well, this platform I'm sharing is free for an employer to sign up and post jobs and search for people. And it's free for the freelancer to sign up and search jobs and reach out to posts that people put on. And it is all over the world, everything from $1 an hour to $1,000 an hour. So all kinds of talent, even independent consultants and firms put themselves up for freelance work because they can put 500 or 700 an hour, in this platform, and it's free, and they get found to do global projects. How they do get paid is if someone's hired as a freelancer, when you pay them through the platform, then they get a piece of that. And like I said, that's the same way PayPal works, but this way, all your solutions are in one, right? They have the Go Meter tracker, they have the payment system. And if they don't do a good job, or they don't actually produce the work at all, or something happens, you have the ability to pause the payment and even file a complaint with GoLance, who is there as your advocate. And so I feel like it's so much safer feeling to use a platform. And I gave away the name of the platform, but be kind and use my link, because these things help us all out.
Wonderful. So Jessica, do you have any gifts for the viewers and listeners? You can share it with us verbally. Your website is below here, so everybody has that, but go ahead and share what you have for a gift.
Yeah, the free gift is a video training that is available for sale on my website now for $197. And I go through and show you how you can access a really extensive, detailed database for prospecting that you can typically access for without cost. And how to use it to research for your ideal prospect. And that can be something a virtual assistant can then watch and do for you on your behalf. So it is a the art of prospecting video training. We'll include the link for you with that. And also my other gift is this link to this place where I source and find the majority of our amazing team members. So I'll make sure we share that as well. But please feel free to share both of those links. And like I always say, be kind and use the links, because we can give more when you share with us. So.
Wonderful, wonderful. For anyone who'd like to find out more about me, you can go to patriciajogrover.com. And if you're in the continental US and you text the word goal, GOAL, to 26786, you'll have goodies come right to your inbox. If you're outside the continental US, if you text 1-866-926-4020, you'll get the same stuff come right to your inbox. We have a little video on the way out, and thank you for being with me. We'll see you next time.